Hey guys, welcome along for our special Premier League review and preview show. I'm also going to be talking all things Nottingham Forest. We are on YouTube and we also go out on Twitch. You can look us up. It's the Supporters Club and give us an email at footballfanpool@gmail.com if you want to join our live shows. Yes, welcome along for another edition. We are going to be looking at this weekend's Premier League matches and also reviewing last weekend and also talking about Nottingham Forest. What is going on at that football club? Obviously, they got rid of Ange Postecoglou last weekend and they have appointed Sean Dyche. Is he safe hands or not? We should have a little look at that, shall we? So Ange Postecoglou's record, he was appointed as head coach of Nottingham Forest on the 9th of September 2025. That's right, we're still in October and he was gone already. So during his time in charge, he oversaw 8 matches in all competition. That is it. Kicked off in the Premier League away to Arsenal on the 13th of September. That was a 3-0 defeat. That was his first game in charge, where 2 goals from Zubamendi and Gyökeres put Nottingham Forest to the sword. That was shortly followed a couple of days later where they played Swansea City in the Carabao Cup, and that was a 3-2 defeat. Forest were indeed 2-0 up, but conceded 3 late goals, including stoppage time, to be eliminated from the competition. Was the writing on the wall already? Only 2 games in. I think people were willing to give him a bit of time, weren't they? Then he went away to Burnley, in the Premier League at that weekend on the 20th of September. A 1-1 draw. Forest took an early lead through Nico Williams and conceded through Jaden Anthony. So that was the first point for Ange Postecoglou. The following week, they were at home to Real Betis, and it was Nottingham Forest's first European game at home for a long time. A 2-2 draw, that one was, and that was in the Europa League. Forest led, but had to settle for a draw in the end. And back to Premier League action at home to Sunderland, losing 1-0. Surely then things are going to start looking a little bit ropey for Ange and Nottingham Forest. Premier League action returned and they played away to Newcastle. That was a 2-0 defeat. Forest failed to score. And that was Postecoglou's job, was under increasing pressure from the fans. And that was his 6th game in charge. And then the home game against Midtjylland in the Europa League. Another defeat in Europe. Forest struggling to hold on, losing by 3-2. And his last game in charge last weekend at home to Chelsea. Josh Akupong, Pedro Neto and Reece James scored. Forest unable to respond. Postecoglou was dismissed. Apparently 19 minutes after the final whistle of that game. There's a lot of rumours of where he met Marinakis in the tunnel. Fisticuffs came about. It's just rumours, by the way. But surely not a great outcome for Ange Postecoglou. So he was released of his duties last weekend, 18th of October, after just 39 days in charge of Nottingham Forest. His results during that period read a very, very sorry story. 0 wins, a big fat 0, 2 draws and 6 defeats. In the Premier League specifically, he has just 1 point from his first 5 league matches. That's not great at all. So he basically became the first permanent Forest manager in over a century to be winless in his first 6 fixtures with the club. That is not a pretty story, is it? That is not a record that you want on your CV. So his 39-day tenure and 8-game spell makes it one of the shortest managerial reigns in Premier League history for a permanent appointment. Of course, there's been many temporary appointments, but that was a permanent appointment. Just 39 days in charge at Nottingham Forest. So they move swiftly. They've got in the safe hands, or have they, of Sean Dyche. He's a strong choice when the club needs organisation, solidity, survival or consolidation. His strengths basically lie in building teams that work hard, defend well and maximise what they have. So a breakdown of key statistics for Dyche during his spell at Everton. That's what we can go by, isn't it? I know he did very well at Burnley, particularly last season. So the 2024-25 season, and that reinforced the strengths and limitations of his tenure. So in the 2023-24 season, Everton recorded 13 clean sheets in the Premier League alone, which ranked them as joint second in the division alongside Manchester City. But surely Nottingham Forest are going to need some of that this season to get their season back on track. That same season, they achieved a league high of 9 clean sheets at home. Forest will be hoping that at the City ground they can become as strong as Everton were, certainly in that season. In terms of expected goals, we talk a lot about this now, don't we? The old XG. So Everton under Dyche ranked roughly about 7th in 2023-24 with a 1.5 expected goals per game. And the following season, so last season, 24-25, they hovered around 8th, so didn't really move too much with an expected goals of 1.4 per game. Whatever that means. If that means something to you, I'm sure you can make something out of that. So basically, it's done on good chances created, isn't it? So 1.4 last season. Points per game over his Everton reign, approximately 1.15 points per game based on 86 points over 75 league matches. And that would have fallen around mid-table in the Premier League. These figures basically back up that Dyche's reputation for building defensively solid teams with a clear organisation. His side made fewer high-quality chances conceded than many bottom half teams would allow. So the attacking creation, the weaknesses. So in 2023-24, Everton's attacking output was weak. So for example, he ranked 19th for goals scored in that campaign. So the following season, last season, 24-25, before Dyche's departure, Everton had scored only 15 league goals in 19 games. That's about 0.79 goals per game. It's not great, is it? Forest are certainly going to be looking to improve on that. I think Forest have got a bit more attacking threat than what Everton had. They certainly struggled in the final third, didn't they, Everton? And those stats certainly show that. Whether that was down to personnel or the way Dyche plays, we don't know. We'll have to see how he kind of turns out at Forest. And one of the worst in the league, and that was with the 0.79 goals per game. His shot quality under Dyche was also very poor. In 2024-25, Everton averaged just 0.08 expected goals per shot and had the second worst conversion rate of non-penalty shots, which was 6.9%. That's not great, is it? So basically the data clearly highlighting the major deficiency in Dyche's team's attacking performance despite the defensive solidity. The inability to create and convert quality chances was a persistent issue. So we're going to have to see how it kind of goes for Nottingham Forest under Sean Dyche. Personally, I feel it's a steady appointment. They're not taking any chances here. I felt Postecoglou was very, very risky, especially considering his record at Tottenham. For the probably he had a good start to his first season, didn't he? So the back end of his first season and certainly last season, the league form to finish 17th and lose, what was it, 22 league games out of 38. Nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near good enough. And I know Tottenham are kind of struggling at the minute at home. Maybe that's a bit of a hangover from Postecoglou and the fans not quite being up to it. But anyway, we'll see how Nottingham Forest go under Sean Dyche. I certainly wish them well. Nottingham Forest is a great football club. It really, really is. But we shall see how it goes. So last weekend, let's have a little look at the results. We spoke about it just then. The lunchtime kickoff, Nottingham Forest against Chelsea. Postecoglou was sacked at the end of that game after goals from Achapong, Pedro Neto and Reece James. And Gusto got sent off for Chelsea, 3-0 winners at the City Ground. On to Saturday afternoon, Brighton winning 2-1 at home to Newcastle. Danny Welbeck scored a brace as Brighton recorded a 2-1 Premier League victory over Newcastle. Burnley beating Leeds, great win for Burnley. The two of the three promoted sides from last season into the Premier League. Great goal from Tuchel sealed the win for Burnley. Uku Chukwu scored the other goal for Burnley. Crystal Palace goal fest down at Sellers Park. A 3-3 draw. Mateta scored a hat-trick, including a stoppage time penalty, which earned them a 3-3 draw at home to Bournemouth. Bournemouth would have been gutted to have lost, not to have won that one actually, with Christie scored in the 89th minute to put them 3-2 up. Like I just said, that 97th minute penalty by Mateta, securing a point for Crystal Palace. Manchester City winning 2-0 at home to Everton, where Erling Haaland continued his blistering start to the season as his quick-fire second-half double, 58 and 63 minutes, put Everton to the sword. 2-0 winners at home to Everton. Certainly going well at the minute, aren't they, Manchester City? Sunderland 2-0 winners at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Sunderland edged to their 4th Premier League win of the season with that 2-0 win. Mukele on 16 minutes and a 92nd minute own goal from Krejci sealed the deal. Fulham losing at home by 1-0 against Arsenal. They extended their lead at the top of the Premier League to 3 points after Leandro Trossard's 58th minute strike sealed the 3 points for Arsenal and took those points back up to North London. Well, on to Sunday's action, the 2 o'clock kickoff here in the UK. Tottenham losing at home to Aston Villa. Morgan Rogers and Emi Buendia were on target for Aston Villa as they came from 1 goal behind after Bentancur put Tottenham up after 5 minutes. And Aston Villa scored 2 great goals, actually. Morgan Rogers and Buendia, they were very, very good finishes. Liverpool losing at home to Manchester United. Their wretched Premier League form continues. I say wretched, but they'll certainly be hoping for better. Maguire's late goal hands Liverpool the 4th straight loss. Maguire's header secured Manchester United's first win at Anfield for a hell of a time, that one. Gakpo hit the woodwork 3 times, I think, but he eventually found the back of the net or the front of the net. They always say the back of the net, don't they? It's not the back of the net, is it? Or is it the front of the net? And Mbeumo and Maguire with Manchester United's goals. Massive result for them. Monday Night Football, finishing off the Premier League action for the weekend, going into Monday. West Ham stank the place out, didn't they, at the London Stadium, losing by 2-0 at home to Brentford. Thiago and Jensen with a 94th minute goal. West Ham fans were not happy at all, and they left in their droves. So that rounds up the Premier League fixtures from last weekend. Let's have a look at the player stats, shall we? Semenyo leads the way with no, he doesn't. Erling Haaland leads the way, on goals. 11 goals. Semenyo second in 6. Thiago having a great season so far for Brentford on 5, level with Mateta. His hat-trick last week certainly helped him. He's moved up to 5. Danny Welbeck still knows where the goal is. 4 goals for him and Brighton so far. The assists, Kudus on 4, Jack Grealish on 4, both of those playing on Sunday. As Tottenham take on Everton at Everton in their new stadium, both on 4 assists. Granit Xhaka on 3, Malik Diouf on 3, Pedro 3, Semenyo 3, and Doku also on 3. Total passes, Elliot Anderson 626, Virgil van Dijk 622, and then quite a few behind, actually. Quick maths, 92 passes behind on 530. Lewis Dunk, the centre-half for Brighton. I did comment a couple of weeks ago on how much the defenders actually are getting a lot of the ball in the Premier League at the minute, where if we look down the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 of them are defenders. So we've got Van Dijk, Dunk, Diaz, Strick from Leeds, Van Hecker from Brighton, Gabriel for Arsenal, and Trevor Chalobah for Chelsea, all leading the way with Elliot Anderson on top. On the passes. Clean sheets, Nick Pope, 5, David Raya, 5, Robin Roofs from Sunderland, 4. What a good season Sunderland are having, aren't they? I know I was probably one of them that predicted them to go down this season, but they are really, really doing well. A lot of work still ahead, a lot still to be done, but good to see the numbers back at the Stadium of Light and Sunderland doing well. So they lead the way on clean sheets. Goals, Premier League teams goals, Manchester City, 17. No wonder with Haaland up top on 11. They're probably going to want those goals spread out a little bit more. Just 6 goals coming from other areas. Chelsea on 16, Arsenal 15, Bournemouth 14 with Tottenham, and Liverpool also on 14. Tackles 1, well, Crystal Palace, they're the ones that are chucking it around a little bit. 107 tackles, Wolves 106, and Brighton 100. Blocks, Everton 45, Burnley 43, and West Ham 36. Total passes, no surprise, Manchester City way out in front, 4,534, while 334 behind them is Chelsea on 4,200. So that's the stats there for the Premier League. Let's have a look ahead to the fixtures, shall we, on the games coming up, and I'll do some predictions for you. So tonight, the game has just got underway, actually. Leeds at home to West Ham. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw in that game. I think that there's going to be goals galore in that one. I think West Ham have got their defensive frailties. Leeds at home, always good atmosphere. I do think Nuno would do all right at West Ham, but it might take a little longer than he's hoping. Going into tomorrow, so Saturday the 25th of October, I'm going to go with Chelsea at home to Sunderland. I think 3-1 to Chelsea. I think Sunderland had a good start to the season, which I've just highlighted, but I do think Chelsea will take the points at Stamford Bridge by 3-2. Newcastle at home to Fulham. This is another tight game, such a tricky one to predict. Could be a draw, could be a Fulham win. I'm going to go with a tight 2-1 win for Newcastle, but I wouldn't be surprised if that went any of the other two ways, a draw or an away win. Both teams decent. Fulham, I quite like Fulham. I like Silva. I think he's a good manager. No disrespect to Fulham, but I think he's got a really big job in him. Somewhere else. So I think Fulham are going to do well to keep hold of him for the next few years, but I'm going to go with a 2-1 Newcastle win on that one. Manchester United, good win away to Liverpool last weekend, at home to Brighton. Brighton are a tricky team to play against, aren't they? Manchester United are certainly going to be looking to take that good form and get some back-to-back wins, which they don't normally do at the minute, do they? They're really struggling to get some back-to-back wins and get some form going. But I'm predicting a tough game, a real tough 90 minutes for them. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw in that one. I think Brighton are good. They set themselves up well. I do like their manager. Another one who's shown great promise. And Brighton always seem to get it right, don't they? But yeah, I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw on that one. And the last game on Saturday, Brentford at home to Liverpool. And Liverpool certainly looking to bounce back. Had a good result this week away to Eintracht Frankfurt, didn't they, in the Champions League? I'm going to predict them to take that form into Saturday's Premier League action. And I'm going for a 2-1 win for Liverpool away at Brentford. Going into Sunday, quite a few games on Sunday. Arsenal at home to Crystal Palace. Tricky. Crystal Palace, decent side, aren't they? They've just come on the back of a massive, I think there were 19 games unbeaten that came to an end up at Everton. But they drew last weekend. I think they're going to struggle away at Arsenal. Arsenal, I don't know, just very efficient, aren't they? They're not kind of blowing, I can say that. They beat Atletico Madrid by 4-0, but I'm predicting a 3-1 win for Arsenal in that game. Aston Villa at home to Manchester City. I believe Manchester City are going to continue their great form. They are going to win that one. I'm sorry, villains, but I'm predicting a 2-0 win for Manchester City. We've got Bournemouth at home to Nottingham Forest. Nuno's certainly going to be looking to get Forest going. Not Nuno. Sean Dyche is certainly going to be looking to get Nottingham Forest going. Bournemouth is a very tough place to go, but I think they might get a 1-1 draw down there. So I'm going to go 1-0 in that game. It's one that Bournemouth will certainly be looking to win when they take advantage of any kind of early days of Sean Dyche's tenure at Nottingham Forest. But 1-1 in that game. Wolves against Burnley. I don't normally go for a 0-0. I always kind of predict goals in all of the games I go for. So I was thinking on this one, I can't see a lot of goals. In saying that, it's probably going to be 4-4 now, isn't it? But yeah, I'm going to go 0-0 in this game. Just stick my neck out and go for a 0-0. An all-action 0-0 or a boring 0-0? Let's go for a boring 0-0, shall we? Let's be a little bit negative on that one. Everton at home to Tottenham. I can see goals. There's always goals up there when these teams play. Everton certainly strong at home. Tottenham decent on the road. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I don't think both teams will take that. I think Everton at home will certainly be looking to win, and Tottenham's away form is good. So we will see how that one goes. Okay, that kind of brings an end to everything I wanted to talk about. If you want to get involved when we do live shows, please do so. You can send me an email. The email address, as always, is footballfanpaul@gmail.com. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically, what I'll do is add you to our mailing list. You're not going to get loads of adverts and unwanted emails and things like that. What I'll do is, when we go live, I'll let you know in the build up to it a couple of hours before. I'll ping you an email with a link. You click on the link. It will stick you in a little background room so I can see where you are. See you're waiting, and then I'll just bring you in, basically, and we'll talk all things football. So we typically go live maybe once a week, a couple of times a week if there's big games on and things like that. So we'll do that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I've changed the little thing there. Yeah, like and subscribe on YouTube if you can. It really does help out. And you can watch loads of our videos. We've got a couple of playlists up there, our live videos. We've got some football shorts, so I'm just ranting about different bits. And also some videos. There's a lot of exciting content there at the minute. I'm fortunate enough to have had 2 nights hosting Harry Redknapp down here in Cornwall, because that's where I am. And he spoke about everything. Tottenham, Portsmouth, West Ham playing days, Bobby Moore. A very funny story about Kenny Dalglish, which you'll see on there. He spoke well about Paulo Futre. Do you remember him? Really good story from his first game away at Arsenal, where Paulo Futre wanted number 10 because all the great players wore number 10. And Paulo Futre certainly saw himself as a great player, and he was. And he wanted a number 10 shirt. So have a little look at that. There's quite a few videos up there at the minute, which are really good. And we've got a few more to come as well. So keep an eye on those. So yeah, down here in Cornwall, what's going on Thursday, the 30th of October. So next Thursday, as I'm putting this one out, as we sit here now, it's Friday evening. So next Thursday, Steve Perryman, Tottenham legend, is coming to Red Roof in Cornwall. He's going to be down at the Red Roof Rugby Club, and he's going to be very, very kindly going to be doing an evening with us. So he's going to be talking about his career, all things football, and also doing a Q&A from the crowd. If you want to get involved in that one, it's pay on the door. It's £15, that's all. I know we go and see a lot of these ex-pros and football legends, and sometimes it does cost a lot of money, and it is tough, you know what I mean, going to watch football and paying for football and things like this. And some of the stories and just the experience of listening to guys like Steve Perryman is phenomenal. Harry Redknapp, do you know what I mean? He was great value a couple of weeks ago. Really, really good. I highly recommend going to see Harry if you get the opportunity. But Steve Perryman is going to be amazing. Tottenham's record appearance holder, won a couple of UEFA Cups, FA Cups, League Cups. A wealth of experience as a player, but also managing, assistant managing. Obviously, he went over to Japan as well, didn't he? Director of football, Exeter City. And talking about the modern game as well. It's really good insight to get former players' insight on how the game has changed and things like that. So yeah, if you are around Red Roof, you can get down and do so. It's not in the main clubhouse. It's going to be in the suite at the back. So as you go into the ground, go around the main clubhouse, around the back of the stand, and there is a lounge at the back. So we're going to be out there. Steve's going to be with us from about 6:45, where he's very, very kindly said that he'll sign bits and bobs and take photos and things like that. So he's absolutely amazing for things like that. Really, really does appreciate fans of all clubs. Doesn't matter who you support, please come along. But I imagine there'll be a massive Tottenham contingent there to hear what an absolute Tottenham legend has got to say about all things football. So yeah, come down. Steve's brilliant. First hour, he'll be talking about his career, things like that. We'll have a bit of a break, and in second half, you will do a Q&A from the audience. So if you've got any good questions, you want to come along, then do that. Steve will be delighted to meet you, and I'm sure it's going to be a great night. So get involved with that one. Don't forget our socials, as always, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. We're on the lot. And like and subscribe and things like that. And also that mailing list, which I told you about, which is footballfanpaul@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for today. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget, like and subscribe. Loads of videos going up. Let's see if we can get some videos up of Steve Perryman. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get Steve on and we'll do a special show in the next few days. If so, I'll let you all know and we will do that. Well, enjoy the rest of your Friday evening, wherever you are around the world. I know we do get viewers from around the world. So wherever you are, enjoy the weekend's football, no matter what team you support. And don't forget, this show, when we go live and we do talk about football, is for all football fans. It's not just for the Premier League. It's not exclusive just for that. We've got Truro City just up the road. We've had some of their fans on over the last few weeks talking all things Truro City. I've had a good turn up in form actually the last week or so. It's been a good week for them. So hopefully this weekend they can get that away to Gateshead. What a trip that is. Best of luck to everyone that's making that journey up to Gateshead. So yeah, if you want to talk about anything, your local football, no matter where you are in the world, it's your show. It's your platform to talk about it. Anything you want, in just football in general. You want to come on, have a bit of a rant about the state of football, VAR, anything, any decision, transfer, manager, whatever you want. It's your show. So come on board and do that. So thank you very much once again, and keep your eyes peeled because we've got loads of good videos and good content going up. So make sure you subscribe and get involved. And don't forget to email me because then I'll let you know when we go live and you can get involved. All right. Take care, and I will see you all soon.